Hello, Atish sir. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. How are you, sir?
All good, sir. Good afternoon. Myself
Good
here today,
afternoon.
research analyst from Print Portal. Thank you for joining on this call today.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't catch your name. This is
Yug Patel, research
Yug
analyst.
Patel. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Hi, Yug. How it's going? All good?
all good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So, we can start with this meeting, knowing about the journey of this company over the years, when it did
Okay.
started and how the company has evolved over the years, and also knowing about your journey as well as journey of your partners and directors who have been associated with you since the beginning of this company.
Okay. So the company is Abha Power and Steel. This was founded by my father and his partners in 2004. Actually, this company has been associated with two families. It's a family-owned company, and it was started as a just a company between friends kind of thing. So my father and the other partner, Mr. Harish Shah, and the Shah family, they were just having some talk around that okay, the steel market is growing in Chhattisgarh, and we need to do
Correct.
something in that aspect, and that's how this it was conceptualized to make a steel plant in Bilaspur. Since we were all based in Bilaspur only, so we decided to go ahead in here only. And we had other businesses. Both Agrawal family and Shah family had different businesses, and they were we were on the lookout of how to enter into new markets. And steel was in a very strong growing phase during 2000s, 2010, between 2000 and 2010. So finally, it was decided to go ahead with a steel plant. There, we decided that we'll go for an induction furnace where we'll manufacture MS ingots for rolling mills. Since we already had a couple of sponge iron plants in the vicinity, so it was making perfect sense that we make ingots and then sell it to some rolling mills. Further on, we were having plans that further expand by expanding uh, forward and reverse, we'll be having a complete integrated steel plant in the area. Uh, I was there in the college during this what this was going on, and in 2008, this company was incorporated in 2004. In 2005, we started our production. Uh, then the slump came for the iron and steel industry. The rates crashed like anything, and whatever we thought that we were in an advantageous position, it went a very rock position for us. That the sponge iron companies nearby us, they started demanding extra amount by carteling against us, that we had to purchase raw material from far away areas. And so they were adding transportation to their basic rates, that we don't have anywhere else to go. So, and also in Bilaspur, there was not much industrialization happening, and there were not good rolling mills or big companies coming up. So we had to sell our market, sell our parts again to the Raipur, that is the nearest biggest city. So we were eventually held in a mid position where we're not able to go forward or backward, and we were squeezed down by our raw material supplier as well as from by our customers. So somehow this decision was being made that this is not viable to run a simple induction furnace in this area, and I was there in Tata Steel during that time. So
Oh,
uh, there were talks going on that we need to shut down the company or we need to book our losses and something like that. So that time I resigned from Tata Steel and then joined here. And there we had some good vision. I had some other promises that promising market that I was looking forward to. One of them was railways. So I convinced my parents and everybody to let's move forward and try to create something that is already not there. What we are doing right now here in the company is that we are making what everybody else is doing, or we are just going with the flow that okay, steel is going strong in Chhattisgarh, so we have started the steel plant. but we don't have any USP here. We don't have any plus points here. So that was a
Correct.
turnaround time. In 2008, after I joined, we started working on a foundry. First, we put up an SG iron foundry. In 2009, it started its production, and that was dedicated 100% to Indian Railways. Indian Railway has a very good connection with Chhattisgarh. It is a home of the southeastern central region. That has been the highest revenue generating zone for all among all the railway zones. And Bilaspur, its headquarters. So we have a lot of railway people going on around in the city, and it has a very good name. This railway complete ecosystem. So we look forward to railways from that point of time, and since then we have been associated with railways with every increase or decrease in the market or whatever the conditions may be. So in 2008-9, we started this SG Iron Foundry. We didn't knew much about the foundry business till then, but once we get into the market, we are now a bit. We entered a full-fledged into the system, and we gained our expertise with the hand-on knowledge of all the products. By that time, our steel business was also going so okay, and we were not very comfortable with what was going on with our ingot making business. So in
Correct.
2012, we decided to move to completely to a foundry business, and we transformed that ingot making unit into a steel foundry. We already had an iron foundry, and to get one steel foundry, so we thought we'll have a complete basket with us. So whoever is in need of any type of ferrous casting, either iron or steel, we would be able to supply it. And that was one of the good decisions that we made during that period. Slowly and steadily, we converted all the equipments and the plant and complete setup into a modern steel foundry. And we started gaining customers across the sectors for those items. Um, Earlier, we were focused only on Indian Railways, and we were going through the railway system for the past 4 5 years. But with what we were seeing parallelly, that there was potential in other sectors also. So what we did is with the steel foundry, we created market for ourselves in other sectors as well. So we entered the steel plants, we entered the cement plants, we entered power sector. Also, we got to know a lot of engineering companies who are looking for their casting supplies, and they were not finding very good foundry in the region. So we got a very good, fantastic feedback from all our customers, and the market accepted us for our quality and delivery. What we did, it was difficult period for us on an engineering background point of view, that we didn't had a right team to produce some challenging products that were coming in front of us. But luckily, we were able to sell that. We were able to sail across those turbulent times, and we are really proud that we have done some very challenging jobs for different sectors, and that has given us a good confidence also, that we can produce any items that can be put forward to us. In fact, we have challenged some import substitutions also, which were handled earlier. These sectors were importing them, and then we give them an option that we can develop it in here itself, and we can also participate in the development of the country. So in 2014 onwards, you can say that this setup was completely a foundry setup. Earlier, we
Mm.
were making very low cost products, and then we have redefined ourselves to make some higher price products, which also brings some margin to us, and also create value for the whole ecosystem. In 2020-21, we decided to have a solar plant with us, because power cost was increasing on a regular basis, and
Correct.
we need to have some financial backing into the system, so that we are not held responsible in future. And also the pricing was quite attractive for a solar plant that time. Even now, it is quite attractive, but so that time we took a decision to have our own solar plant, and we started working on it in 2022. And in 23, it got operational. So we put up a 3 megawatt solar plant. During that solar plant itself, we got to know a lot of more products, and our vision was a bit enlightened by what was going on uh, elsewhere in the country. We could see how dynamically railway was growing, and what a fast output this nation was becoming into. That
Hmm.
we were not what you call a suppressed country now. What we could see that people are ready to dare, they are ready to move out, and all the big sector companies are ready to accept Indian make products, and they give us a preference that okay, the if we want to develop something in India, the scenario was such that they are ready to accept that, which was not there 10 12 years ago. So we again found this opportunity that okay, we have developed a steel plant, we have developed a iron plant, and we are going good. What next? Then we identified that railway is again a big sector, and we need to move forward with it. What we are doing right now, we are supplying only iron parts to railways and not steel parts to railways. So to produce the steel parts for railways, it required altogether a very different structure and a modernized plant. So although we had a capacity to make a number of castings or the total tonnage of the castings on a huge volume, but we
Hmm.
didn't have the required infrastructure to manufacture them. By that we mean that
Okay.
we do have the liquid metal capacity, but we don't have the other downstream capacities to utilize that liquid metal status. So we were
Correct.
looking. So we again thought that what to do next. So one of the options came forward to us was this IPO. Among other options, where banks were also available with us, and a lot of other things was available. But we preferred this IPO route to fund our this modernization of the plant. It had a two-pronged benefit for us. One, we were getting the funds on a single installment, complete fund for the modernization. And second, we were getting a kind of validation for our workings for the past 15 years or what we have been doing. So when the market accepts you for what you have done for the past and your future orientation or the growth that you are projecting, this gives you a validation that okay, you are on the right track. It also gives you responsibility that you'll have to be fair, and you have to be pursuant with what you are doing, and you have to be practical. But it's a big responsibility as well. But still this validation was very much required for us, so that we can take the next steps very strongly, and we have that confidence with us that we can dare to stare at the big giants of the companies, and we can be assured that yes, we have the backing of our 3000 or 2000 shareholders with us, that yes, we are there with you. So that was how we got into this IPO thing. We got our company listed last year, and now we are looking forward to complete the expansion projects, modernization projects, and then see where we can take this next step.
Thank you, sir, for that very detailed answer. As you have very well said, that moved from simply focusing on ingot manufacturing and turning around the story of the company after since you have joined. So I want to understand more about what type of products do we offer to the Indian Railways and to the other customers that lately we have diversified, as you very well said in your previous answer. So
Right.
yeah, please.
Okay, so for railways, again we have two foundries: steel foundry and iron foundry. In iron foundry, for railway, we were making SGCI inserts. Those are the parts that goes into the railway fastening system. What happened where the when the tracks are laid, railway lines are laid,
Hmm.
those lines rest on the cement sleepers, the concrete cement sleepers, and
Correct.
this SGCI insert what we manufacture, it's the fastening system which joins this concrete sleeper to the railway track, so that the railway track doesn't move. It has some liberty for some movement, and still it would be attached to the sleeper very strictly, so that there is no gap or there is no excess movement of the rail during the transportation of rails. So it's a very safety critical item, and for each of this product, even to enter this market, you'll have to get yourself registered with RDSO, that is the Research Design and Standardization Organization of Railways, which governs that all the products of that goes into the railway has to be standardized and to be made in a definite process of manufacturing. So it's a very stringent system where we have to follow all their policies and their documentations and processes. And this is about SGCI insert. Another product that we started in 2022, I think, yeah, was adapters. These are the parts that are available. I'm getting a bit of disturbance. Can I pause for 1 minute?
Sure, sir, definitely.
Yeah.
No worries.
Sorry, something urgent came into the plant, so I had to rush.
No
No issues.
worries, no worries, sir.
Yeah.
That's
So
completely fine.
we were talking about the different products that we are manufacturing in our plant for railways and other
Correct,
sectors. So we have started
correct.
with Indian Railways. In Indian Railways, from our two different foundries, iron and steel, we are supplying many products. From iron foundry, we are supplying SGCI insert, I told you about. Another product is the adapters, which goes into the wagon manufacturing or wagon servicing. It is the connection point where all the bearing of the wagon wheels gets attached to the body of the wagon. So it's again a very critical point. Its failure can cause a lot of damage to human life and infrastructure and everything else. So the criticality of this product makes it very vital for quality checks and everything. And so since 2022 onwards, we have started increasing um, uh, our production of this particular item, and we have raised it, and we are still increasing its contribution in our total ecosystem. Other than these are the two products that we are making for railways in our SGRN plant. For steel foundry, we have started some of the Indian Railway products, and a lot of products are under registration. As soon as our modernization will be completed, we'll be introducing a few more products, which after the scrutiny and acceptance by RDSO, will start
Hmm.
making those products also in our steel foundry. We have made some products. We have some approvals from ICF, that is Integral Coach Factory in Chennai, for
Okay.
like brake support or centering disc, and two, three or more items are there. But their overall
Hmm.
contribution to our system is not much. So I'm not talking about those. After that, we don't have any staple products for rest of the industries, because we are there in the spares market for the different sectors. For example, for steel plants that like Tata Steel, SAIL, Jindal, these are our regular customers. We don't
Hmm.
get fixed inquiry from them that okay, they want this hammer for the next 12 months, or every year they want this product. Every time they come across some requirements, they post an inquiry to us, and we see to it if they on our manufacturing range. We quote for it, and then after the negotiations, we get the order, we supply it. So a lot of item names, even the same product has different name in different industries. Like some call it a hammer, some call it a what you call it, bearing block, some call it a, blower, some call it what you call it, beater, some call it a braking head. So even for the same product, they have got a very different names. Basically, the point is that when we go to our customers, we say that If you have any casting requirement, iron, steel, or any grade, manganese steel, stainless steel, whatever grade, we can manufacture it for you. We can give you it in the best international standards requirement and in a favorable release time to you. And that way we try to attract our customer towards our products. So if you talk about
Okay,
fixed product line, there are not many much. It varies from order to order.
understood, sir. The IDSO certification that you mentioned. So
Yeah.
when we as a company got that certification, and apart from us, how many companies in India have that kind of certification with them?
Okay, RDSO, as I told you, it's a governing body for the railways, and they ensure that each and every part that is being supplied to railways have a fixed procedure of manufacturing and quality test before it goes into the railway
Correct,
ecosystem.
correct.
So our association with RDSO started in 2008 when we decided to go for a SGRN foundry dedicated to Indian Railways.
Hmm.
From then onwards, we have been closely developing, understanding each other for the past 15 years or 18 years now. We have been inside the core team of RDSO for development of new products also. Like when this dedicated freight corridor concept came to Indian Railways back in, I think, 2016 or somewhere 16 or 17. This concept came to the Indian government that will have to make a golden quadrilateral or dedicated freight corridor so that
Hmm.
we can have a route identified and people can have a faster movement of goods from one place to other, even at least between the financial districts like Delhi and Mumbai and Kolkata, something like that. So
Correct. Got it.
for that railway didn't want to do it the traditional way. um, what was happening is earlier they had a fixed payload, let's say 18-ton payload was there for the all the wagons, but for dedicated freight corridor they increased their payload to 22.5 ton. Now, when you increase the payload, you'll have to redesign everything. You have to redesign the fastening system, you have to redesign your wagon and everything. So, we
Hmm.
were proud to be partnering railways to develop this new fastening system so that we can have a higher payload into the same wagon or in the same structure, we can get more out of it. So we participated with railways to develop this new part, and we developed it. Ultimately, we got a very strong relation with RDSO for during the development, and even today we are continuing that. In 2016, when our this steel foundry was developed, we approached railway for their A class certification. Now, what is
Okay.
this A class certification is? Railway defines a set guidelines as per the international standards and the Indian standard also 12117. It defines the basic process or the basic structure what each ideal steel foundry must have. It's not a product oriented certificate; it's a process oriented certificate where
Hmm.
you get validation that what you are doing as a foundry person or as a foundry is up to the standard international standards of markets. So they check each and every parameters of yours, like what you are using for melting of your raw material, how you are handling your molding system, how many people you have on board for quality checks, how's your heat treatment furnace, is it regularly calibrated or not. They have got, I think, 84 points to be satisfied. Once you have satisfied those 84 points, then only you can apply for a A class certification. So
Okay.
I was conversant with this kind of standards and what the railway requirement is. This A class certification doesn't give you direct entry into any system or any product that okay, I have a A class certification, I can supply this material. It gives you a foundry which enables you to attack those products which you are targeting. So in 2018, we started this procedure to go for RDSO A class certification. It took us almost 2.5 years to complete the all the requirements of the railways, and I think in 21 2021 we were first time awarded this A class certification. It was a prestigious moment for us. It's a not so easy going certificate. Not every foundry is able to achieve that. I think the total number of setups that have this certification is around between 20 to 30. I'm not sure about the exact number. So
Okay.
out of I think more than 200 foundries or 200 to 300 foundries in India, you can say only 10% or even less than that have this certification, because it's a very stringent compliances that is required for this one. And again, it gives you the validation that yes, you are doing what you are doing, you are doing correct. It also gives you one added advantage also, that if you are going for any other product, critical products that railway doesn't allow everybody to manufacture without their approval, that time
Hmm.
you get an added advantage that you can directly submit your products for estimation or for assessment, rather than going for infrastructure visit or for other compliances or getting registration. So your registration part is bit shortened if you have this A class certification, what we have right now.
Okay. Understood. Thank you, sir, for that very detailed answer. Typically, on what business model do we operate? Do we, participate, work on? Like, is it something that we participate on tenders, or as a we are like kind of a OEM suppliers to them? Like, what business models do we usually follow?
um, uh, it's a hybrid kind of model, I can say very fairly,
Okay.
because for railways we have this tender basis going on. Uh, all the zonal railways, they put their requirements on a IREPS platform, that is Indian Railway e-procurement system. There we bid
Hmm.
for our tender for items, and sometimes they go for reverse auction. Sometimes they finalize on the basis of number of quotations that they have received, and then we receive the order and we execute them. That is for the
And
government part.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you, but
yeah.
who got like what players usually get to have tenders? Like, is it someone who offers the lowest cost to them, or is it with the quality part that decides who will get the tender?
Uh, Quality part is already decided for the railway part, actually, because only those person who are affiliated by RDSO or approved by RDSO for that particular item, only those can
Hmm.
participate for that particular item. So
Okay.
quality is they have already shortlisted that not everybody can apply for a particular item. It can be applied only by a vendor list, that for that particular item, whoever vendor is registered, those can only apply. In railways, we don't get a premium over the quality that we manufacture against our competitors. Railway goes for the L1 prices, and sometimes we get a right to match against the, if we are not L1, if we are L2 or L3, and urgent requirement is there or some guidelines are there. So
Hmm.
for direct railway orders, we don't get any benefit for being quality conscious or being more conversant with our product line. uh, there, in that case, they are binded to go for L1 only. So
Okay.
in that case, that is how it is happened. But once we move out of the government tenders, for the private industries, and in fact for other parts also, which goes indirectly to railways, that is we supply to the OEM, then OEM is supplying to railways.
Very correct.
That case, yeah, in that cases are finalized directly over the emails regarding what kind of prices we can offer. We have a very healthy relation with our customers on that part. uh, those are the areas where the customers are really looking for a quality conscious product. Even in that cases, they are binded by to buy this product from a limited suppliers who are DSO approved for that item. But even though, let's say, out of 10 vendors, they always prefer to buy someone with have a quality conscious mind. And there we get an upper hand from our competitors. Being in the business for so long and knowing our customer, their requirement, and the quality complexities of this product, This gives us an extra benefit to us. We can even demand a couple of percentage higher than our competitors, and even then our customers would be happy to pay us a bit premium just for their peace of mind and the assurance that okay,
Okay.
if the products are coming from Abha, they need not be worried about the quality or the quantity or
And
the delivery.
what percentage of our business would be coming from OEMs and from the tender base or like Indian Railways?
Tender-based railway system will be getting around 20-25% of the business would be from railway tendering system, or a bit less maybe, and rest all is directly from privates and OEMs, which are decided directly between the two partners.
Okay. And any plan to increase this share further, or do we plan or intended to keep it the same in the ratio of 70-30, 80-20, likewise? Hello. Hello.
Okay, sorry, we got disconnected, I think.
You heard the question, or shall I repeat it again?
Please do repeat. I couldn't listen to anything.
No worries, no worries. So
Yeah.
as you said that our ratio is currently 25 to 75. So my question was,
Yeah.
do we intended to keep it the same in the ratio of let's say 70-30 or 80-20, or we plan this ratio to increase this further to, getting 90% of our revenue, 95% of our revenue from OEMs only, because it is a margin attractive business, as you said. So what is a plan of the company or the management?
We definitely look forward to get direct business from railways. It's always a lucrative thing. Right now, the payments are also very good. With
Hmm.
the, both sides have the positives and negatives. Although railway have very tight control over the pricing and everything, the added advantage is their requirement is a bit higher than OEMs, and the quantity we get from the railway for a particular item is always more than what we get from the individual OEMs. So it's not a market that we can ignore or we want to reduce. Uh, as a company, as a future prospect, what we are seeing, we would like to maintain this ratio between 20-80 and 30-70. So when we are adding newer products in our portfolio, again those products would be marketed directly to the railways as well as to the OEMs. So that time again we have this
Got it.
calculation check whether to supply to railways or OEM. We'll try to keep both the customers happy and maintain this ratio overall between 20-80 and 30-70.
Understood. And what will be the difference in profitability at the operating level between these two segments?
There is no clear definition of this because it depends upon the market and supply. It's demand supply the kind of thing. If the OEM is facing some shortages or if they have some urgent requirement, they
Hmm.
they will be willing to give us some additional rate advantage over the market. But if the market is not good and we have some excess inventory or uh, we are not having sufficient order, we may have to sell them at a lesser price than what we are selling to the railways. So it's not a
Understood. Okay.
yeah fixed thing that we'll always get an added advantage selling to the OEM over railways, but that is the case in general.
Okay. So now let's come to the financial aspects of the business as well. So while looking at your company's revenue, we see a volatile growth in revenue. So from FY 20 to financial year 2025. So can you highlight a general or broad reason behind this trend and what trend we can see for the coming years?
Right. So let's start with 22 or 2020 if you want. Um, Earlier, as I told you the complete story, we were having very low margin or low cost products in our portfolio,
Correct.
and that was the case going on till 2022, where we decided to go for value added items and value added products for both our steel foundry and the iron foundry. Here, it started with the introduction of adapters to our foundry. In 22, we started manufacturing it. It took us almost 1 year, 1.5 years to get it into the approved list of RDSO. And in 23 and in 24 and 25, you can see the impact that there has been a significant jump in the revenues. One of the aspect was this item, because for the same production share, we were getting almost 1.5 tons of the revenue for the same volume what we were generating. That is, if we are making 100 tons earlier and now also we are making 100 tons, our revenue was 1.5x. uh, so
Correct. Okay.
so that kind of thing has happened. And it's the this SGCI insert what we are manufacturing, which is contributing more than 50 to 60% of our revenue volume. So in that case, it's a cyclic thing also, that sleeper plants business is a bit order oriented or tender oriented, which gets finalized once in every 3 years or 2.5 years. So every 2 years or 2.5 years, we get this period of lesser order, or somewhere that number of plants running, this sleeper plants are lower, and they are facing problem because they have not the older order has been finished and the new order has not been finalized. So a bit of lacuna is there in the market every 2 to 3 years. So that thing, if it coincides with your lower market for other sectors, it shows you some dip in that particular financial year. So that was happening for us for the past 5, 6, 7 years. But after the introduction of these higher value items, we have seen that we have overcome that kind of aspect. Whenever the insert requirement goes low, we can increase the adapter requirement, and we can maintain our sustainability, so that we don't have much effect in our financials for that particular year. So that is what has
And
happened. Yeah.
and what sort of revenue growth we can expect from here? Like say double-digit growth, and what momentum in the revenue we can see in coming years, 2 to 3 years down the line.
Okay. This year, since we are still making our investment after the IPO for the modernization of our plant, so it's going to be not a very high increase or very high growth we are not expecting in this financial year. After that, I can definitely say that we'll be uh, in a jumpy kind of situation. We could find ourselves with a double digit growth, or a higher double digit growth as well for the next 2, 3 years. And as this new plant functioning gets more and more, the machinery gets more oiled, or it's functioning properly, running in a better way. All these things take time of a couple of years to get
Correct.
100% out of the system. So till then, we can steadily assume that we'll be in a increasing curve, and we'll see a uh, good positive results in the coming years.
Okay. And what sort of advantage we enjoy when it comes to the raw material procurement? Because if I see our gross margins have improved meaningfully after 23. It has jumped from around 40% to 40, not 40, it has jumped to
Yes, something
47 or
like that.
50% kind of range. So yeah,
Hmm.
what has changed after 23 to 25? Like, is it something because of raw material sourcing, or what sort of advantage are we getting?
One major factor during this period was our solar plant. Uh,
Okay,
this is straightforward being our energy saver. See, uh, when our plant is giving us a very good return back, our overheads are not much, and our fixed cost have not risen. So with the same raw materials and the same costing, we're able to produce more products and without hampering our bottom line. So one of the major factor for this jump, what you are saying about, is more about the solar plant rather than anything else. We always have this additional advantage of being in based in Chhattisgarh because we have all the major raw materials very nearby to us.
Correct.
Our raw material sourcing is has always been from the nearby regions. Recently, NMDC has started a very huge steel plant in Nagarnar, Chhattisgarh, and that is also contributing a lot of it is also contributing a lot in our raw material procurement, and it has given us an added advantage to have so many options nearby you, which can supply you very good raw materials. And we are seeing this for going in future as well, because
Okay.
the steel,
And what's
scrap, pig iron, this is our main raw material. And yes, we are lucky to be in abundant areas.
okay? And what sort of more additional cost saving we can expect from this solar brand, and what sort of margin improvement we can see from now, both at operating level and PAT level?
Okay, uh, let's talk about the solar plant specifically. Um, we have made it we have structured in such a way that within 6 years, within 6 years from the date of inception, will close out its loan account. So once
Okay.
that loans account closes out, that complete advantage will straight away again reflect in our balance sheet. So after 6 years from 2023, yeah. So you can calculate from that period onwards, you will see a significant jump in the financials due to this solar addition. And for the raw material, for the overall aspect of the working, we see that our margin would go in a tight bracket itself. Whatever margins we are, PAT margins we are incurring right now, we'd like to maintain that again. Once this new project kicks in and this
Hmm.
modernization is complete and we are ramping our top line, we are increasing our revenues. That time again, this PAT margin will increase, because what we have done in a very I shouldn't say this, but intellectual way, that we have not increased the burden on the financial side. We have done this very meticulously. We have got very good set of machineries, but at a very reasonable cost. We have enjoyed
Hmm.
the market premium on a lot of products. The For the higher end machineries, the market was not good, so we were able to negotiate very good prices for them. We got a very good manpower uh, with not so expensive bunch of people. So overall, we have done very well with the kind of costing part that we have maintained. So if we are able to maintain it in the same way, once the revenue increment occurs, will definitely give a very good PAT increase. But right now, for the this year, or at least for the next half year or so, we are expecting the PAT margin to be in the same range what we are getting right now.
Okay. Same range, but not on declining rate.
No, I'm not expecting any decline right now, because the market has been good up till now, and we have done at par with our requirements. So decline, I don't think so, but at least it would be within the range, whatever is going on.
Okay. And what factors you see as, that this kind of factors, two, three major factors will drive the demand for your specific products in, let's say, coming 5 years. And these are the major points which is expected to contribute meaningfully to our business.
Um, I don't know how to put this, Yug. Let me say it like that. We were not expecting market to be this good even in this year. The
Okay.
what India is doing right now is it is outthinking, outperforming everybody. Nobody in their right sense of mind could have predicted what we are doing right now uh, in 2000 or 2010 or 2020. Even 3, 4, 5 years ago, people nobody would have expected that this kind of growth or this kind of phenomena India can achieve. What we have done for the past 5 to 10 years is is something extraordinary, which we are not realizing right now because we have not seen any dip or any extraordinary bump in our growth story till date. Okay, COVID was one such thing, but it was a global phenomena. We have
Correct.
even during that we have outclassed it, or we have crossed it in a better way than most of the countries or the most of the world. So I would be very frank, you. We were not expecting this year to be very great, but as I told you, we have surpassed all our estimation. India is actually on a growth note, and now what we have seen and how these things are performing, it would go on for the next 5 7 years, uh, unless until something drastic happen, god forbid, shouldn't. But we are on the right track, we are on the ascending cycle, and it will go on for the next 5 7 years till 2030 or 32. We can expect this kind of growth to go on. In fact, this could be even better because people are ready to accept make in India products. Uh, we see this kind of factoring in during our conversation with our MNCs also. Earlier, they were skeptical about what kind of products Indian companies would give, or are they quality conscious or not. Now they don't have that kind of doubts with them. They are a bit more open to listen to the Indian companies or Indian people or Indian products about. So we can see this change of mindset in the market, and this will hopefully continue for the next 5 7 years or so. Another factor that can give us future would be the monsoon season. See, this year the rain has been spread across the provinces or from on monsoon. So if you go by the cycle, if this year was good, next year would be average, and the next to next year, we will facing water shortages. So if that hurdle can be overcome, then this growth story could not be stopped. India is heavily investing in defense and railways. That is a question nobody can say no to. And this is showing the
Correct.
impact in everybody's life and the overall infrastructure of the country. So people have seen the effect that is making on them. So even if the government changes or this government stays or whatever happens, nobody is going to slow down the speed of the progress what we have attained. So I'm very much confident that this will go on for the next 4 5 7 years or so, and we can expect greater things from this great country of ours.
Okay, so thank you for the very detailed answer. That's all we have from our side. Thank
Right.
you for joining on this call today. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Yuk, for your patience. I've been a bit more verbose, I should say. I was going a lot of words, but you have been very patient, and you had very intriguing questions for me. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Likewise, sir. Same to you. Bye.
Thank you.